Hey everybody, welcome to Life at Sunny Lee. It's been another busy week. Haven't really had much time to clean at the beginning of the week. Sunday we went to church and then we went out to eat and came back home. We were exhausted. We had been up most of the night for some reason. I was worried about Hercules, the cat. Still has not come home. He's an older cat, intact male. The last one to come here, and he was in such poor condition when we got here that we didn't think he could do surgery, so we just kind of never got around to getting him neutered. We do have him fattened up. I did spend, oh gosh, a lot of time this past 2 weeks getting mats out of his hair, and turned him loose the other day after having him in with all the snow. And the first night he came back home, the second day I turned him out, and he didn't come back home. And he's been missing now since a week ago Friday. So I'm hoping that it's just that the fact that he's still a tomcat and that it's getting to be springtime and maybe he's out making the rounds, as they say. So I'm hoping he comes back home. Yeah, we'll see. But in the meantime, I did order a large enclosure outside that I can put all the cats in during the day, especially during the months of January, February, March. That's the coyote mating season, also their birthing season when they're feeding the puppies, and that's when they're known to grab small animals, and cats are a small animal. So there's always a possibility that he got grabbed by a coyote. Anyway, I don't want to take the chance of the other ones getting grabbed, so I ordered the large calico for outside, and it will be a permanent fixture outside where I can just put them in. And also I can put them in there when I'm working in the greenhouse, and that will eliminate all the little puncture holes on top of the greenhouse from when I'm working inside and they want to be inside with me. They jump and climb all over that greenhouse, and I can put them in the calico and go out in the greenhouse and work and not be yelling at the cats to get off the greenhouse. So that would be nice. Let's see. Monday I had my mammogram. Have not heard back yet on that. After that, we went and got groceries. Came home, put the groceries away, and turned around and went back to the gym. So I had very little time to clean that day. And on Tuesday, we went to the gym, and then we went out to eat. And that morning, we did get some work done. We did get the blind up, the new blind up in the dining room, the one that had broken. I do not like it as well. We got it from Walmart. The other two we got from Home Depot. I definitely prefer the Home Depot ones. The rod's more substantial, it's thicker, it's easier to grab, and when you raise these blinds up, they're cordless, and we raise them up, it's no problem. But pulling them down, they're very, very hard to pull down. And the ones from Home Depot just up and down easily. So we decided that if we have to replace any more blinds, it will be from Home Depot. We're not going to get the ones from Walmart. Maybe I got a bad one. I don't know. Even when I turn the rod to open and close the blinds, it's harder to turn. It's just not smooth at all. So I'm not too happy with that. But they look nice. And that's the main thing. Yeah. And they do work. And then, what else we do that day? Oh, I had to take a Hopa garden. I have a Hopa garden and I had an Arrow garden. I prefer the Arrow garden. But I was comparing the two, and the Arrow garden's no longer being made. So you can't buy a new one of those unless you find one that's just on the shelf somewhere. Because, like I said, they discontinued making them. But the Hopa garden, it wasn't working. I put seeds in it last month, and I couldn't figure out why they were not germinating. And one of them did germinate, but the plant only got like that tall. You know, teeny weeny little thing. And I couldn't figure out what's going on. So I opened it up, and the water was all scummy, and I had algae on the top of it, and I go, well, that's not right. So I checked the pump, and the pump had quit working. And I went looking for a pump, and I found it on their website, but they're out of stock. So I did the next thing that do-it-yourselfer would do. I took it apart. And I got it working. The pump is working again. It has a little filter inside of the pump. You have to take 2 screws out, and then pull the pump out, and then you have to take the pump apart, and there's a filter there. And once I cleaned that filter and cleaned the water intakes, it worked. So hopefully it's working again. I've checked it a couple times. It's a pump that pumps a half hour, and then it quits, and then it pumps a half hour. So I've been kind of checking on it throughout the day, last couple of days, and it seems to be working. And the little plant that was only like this is now about like that. So that's shows me that it's at least working more. The seeds have not germinated yet, but it takes anywhere from 4 to 7 days for them to germinate. So we're still within the ballpark there. And he went to the gym on Wednesday, but I decided to stay home and clean this sunroom. Now, the sunroom is not really that dirty. The only thing I really need to do is wash the walls down, wash the curtains, and wash the windows. Because I decluttered this room 2 years ago, and it stayed almost exactly. I'm not putting clutter in this room. I'm not added anything. It's supposed to have plants in it, and the plants are in Doug's room, what he uses when he comes home. They're in there right now because this sunroom, it's hard to heat. I mean, I can heat it, but why should I heat this extra when I have his room already heated and it's got light from the windows and stuff? So I just moved the plants in there during the winter time. That gives me a chance to clean this room nicely before spring and before moving all the plants back in. So I've got to get this room done first, and then we'll move on to the next room. And like I said, this room, I'll get it done in one day. It's just a matter of taking the curtains down, washing the blinds and the windows and the walls, and vacuuming the floor. None of the other stuff really needs to be cleaned. I vacuum the seats and that'll be it. So, one thing about deep cleaning a room is that you make a mess in the process of doing it. So far I've washed the walls, washed the curtains, getting those put back up, washed the windows. I only washed the inside of the windows. I did not wash the outside of the windows because it's cold and I would have to open up the windows. And to do that, I would have to replace all of the rope caulking that I have. These are older windows. They don't shut as well as they should, so I have to put caulking in them. And I use the rope caulking that you can just pull up in the summertime when you want to open the windows. But then you have to replace it every year. And I did not want to replace any of that right now, so I just did not do the outside windows yet. So anyway, it's a mess right now, and we're getting there. All right, we got this room all put back together. This is a reading room, basically. There's no TV in here. There is a cassette player for music, but it's mainly just to come in and read and just kind of relax without any other disturbances. So there's plenty of light in here. A lot of task lighting so you can over your shoulder so you can read better. And I like the chest. Look out, watch the wild birds and the feeders outside. And a little table, it's also can be used as a seat if you put a pillow on it. Mom and I made this, oh my gosh, back when I was in 4-H. This was a 4-H project where we basket weave, and we made this. We made the lamps. This one And that one, that was both the also 4-H project. So this has got a lot of memories. A lot of the stuff that's in this room is from my mom. She collected eagles and birds. So the eagles from her house, the birds, we both have a set of birds. I made a set, she made a set. I don't know which ones these are. I have her set and I have my set also. A clock was made by my son when he was in high school. This picture here was painted by a good friend in high school. I don't know wherever happened to him. The rest of the stuff is stuff that Mom had. She made the angel, and she made the I Love the Country thing. She liked hummingbirds. Those are her hummingbirds. And so I just kind of put them in here. This is kind of a nice little room. Kind of reminds me of past things. The seagulls from our trip that we took. And just a nice little room. And it's clean, ready for the plants to come back in. I took the one plant that was dead. I took it out. It bit me on the way out, so I had to take time out and clean that little wound. It seems like I can't clean anything anymore without getting scratched. So anyway, this room is done, and that's another room marked off. On Thursday, I took a break from cleaning. It's so nice to have one room done in one day. That's what you can do when you have it decluttered, and it's a nice, quick room to clean and get, and it's so easy to keep it clean. But on Thursday, I took a break, and we went over to the Jackson County Historical Center, and we spent the morning there, and then we came back home for a little bit, and then we went back to the gym. Okay, we're at the Jackson County History Center, just kind of looking around. It says it's open, but we tried the door and no one was there. So we're just kind of walking around to see what they got. Oh, combine reminds me of the one my dad used to have. Bell. It's called the Meeting House. Trading post. The first trading post, 1827, located in Driftwood Township, overlooking Star Hollow, erected by Joseph Herman Himmelkramp, who died in 1843 with no hairs. Lafayette Bridge Company, builders, Lafayette, Indiana, 1896. Love the wood shutters. Hey, I got a horse head just like that. Didn't see the outhouse, or I guess it's an outhouse or a jail, one or the other. Didn't know what we got up here. Okay. Old circus wagon. Hi. And the buffalo.
Can I help you?
Yeah. Yeah. She says she'd be. When we got back from the gym, I decided to go ahead and go over to the garage, replace the battery on the camera over there, and decided to go ahead and feed the cats. And usually when I'm over there doing that, my husband doesn't come and open the door or anything because the cats, they want to be outside right now, so they try to go out. But I was feeding him and he came in and he goes, "Look who's home. Look who's here." And I turned around and there was Garfield. Not Garfield. I turned around and there was Hercules. He had been gone for 1 day shy of a week. So we'll put him in his crate. He's kind of quarantined from the other ones right now. I'm not letting him out at the same time. Mainly because we've got this bird flu going around and I don't know why he's been eating for the past week. So we've kind of got him a little bit separated from the other ones. It's still in the same room, but he's in a separate crate. And I take care of him last. And I am wearing gloves right now and taking care of him just in case he's got any discharge or anything. So we'll keep him in kind of a semi-quarantine for a while and make sure he's okay. But he seems to be okay. I gave him a whole can of food the first day and he ate it like he was crazy, like he was starved. And he's been doing really well since then. And he's back to his old self. And Friday, let's see what happened. Friday, husband went to town and I stayed home. I have been having some problem with the other camera that I used for my other channel. In fact, I haven't even been putting much up on the other channel because of that. So I spent the whole day Friday troubleshooting that camera and getting it reformatted, and I think I've got that problem solved. So my other channel has got a brand new video out on it. And hopefully this problem is solved and I can start putting out videos with that camera all the time. I like that camera for those type of videos because it's Doesn't take much space on the computer as the one on the phone does. And it runs longer than what the phone does. The phone will shut off after so many minutes, where if I want to do a time lapse or something, it doesn't work too well with the phone. So I like the other camera for that. And then that evening I started the grow room. Now the grow room is where I plant my seedlings for the year. And I have been kind of putting it off. I usually start them in February. Actually, I usually have the onions started in January, but I'm putting everything off about a month this time. Started a lot of stuff. I started peppers, sweetened hot peppers, paring down, just doing a few this year, varieties, not doing a whole bunch, just doing our favorites. And I sowed some kale, some Swiss chard, 3 types of parsley, 4 types of onions, some leeks, flowers, impatiens, petunias, coluses. Got whole trays of those. So I got those started, and we'll see how they do. Well, like I said, I was kind of putting it off because I wanted to get that room clean. The glow room is a complete mess. We thought we were going to redo it this past winter, and we never got around to it. So everything is kind of messed up in there. I just didn't bother about cleaning because I thought we were going to be taking everything out and redoing it. So that is on the agenda to clean. But I do have the shelves cleaned enough that I could put the lights back on and the heating mats back on. So that's working. And then on Saturday, well, let's go back a second. I ordered a large outdoor enclosure for cats when Hercules went missing, because we lost a cat a couple years ago to a coyote, and I was afraid that that's what had happened to Hercules. And I was tired of worrying about cats disappearing. So I bought a large cat enclosure. It's a 10 by 6 enclosure. And I figured during the month of January, February, March, when it's coyote mating season and birthing season and the nursing season for the coyotes, and when they're more likely to go after your small prey, that I would just keep the cats in that enclosure during that time period. And then also whenever I go out to the greenhouse, I can put them in there, and that way I won't have them going up on top of the greenhouse and putting a little hose in the top of the plastic from where they like to climb, trying to get inside. So that will solve that problem also. And plus it'll be a nice safe spot for them. Especially if we get a new puppy, it'll be a good way to introduce him or her, whichever we get, to the cats, where both will be safe until they get used to each other. So I ordered that, and that came Saturday morning, which was surprising to me because I just ordered it on Tuesday. I think I ordered them Tuesday, and by Thursday the first half of the order came, and then today, Saturday, these big enclosure came. And the guy that delivered it was so nice. It was the box was damaged on the outside, and he stayed around while we opened the box, and he helped look at it to see if it was damaged in any way. And we couldn't see any damage, but then he was nice enough, I'll say, that if we find any as we get working on it, to let them know, and they would take care of it. So that was nice to know. And then after he left, I went upstairs and I put the standing desk that our middle son had gotten. I put that together. It took me about an hour and a half to get it together. And I really like it. That's the next room I'm going to redo. So I'm going to have to rearrange that room quite a bit to accommodate that desk. So we'll see what happens, what I have to get rid of, if anything. But that's next week's project. So stick around for next week, and we'll be decluttering and cleaning the bedroom that our middle son uses when he comes home. He works remotely, so when he comes home, he usually comes for about a week to 2 weeks. And that way he can be off the 3 or 4 days that he's got to be off, and he can work the 2 days that he has to work before he goes back on the weekend, which works out really nice. He has a nice little office on one end of the room, and the bedroom on the other end is kind of a dual-purpose room. So we're going to be cleaning that and decluttering that next week. And then Saturday night, we went to the local grill and listened to our neighbors sing for 3 hours. So that's been our week. Hopefully you've had a good week. Hopefully you've had a productive week. And remember, it's time to start those indoor seeds. And time to take your house back and show it the house who is boss. And that's you. So clean, declutter, and start your gardening. Remember, like, share, subscribe, dream big, and follow that dream. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody. God bless.